guys, welcome back to my channel. Craig is back in another sit down video, and today is a very, very special day. So first of all, if you guys don't know, October is Spina Bifida Awareness Month. So I wanted to just start off this video by saying we did a whole video explaining spina bifida, like especially our son's spina bifida and related to that, and like kind of just making a video to help people understand it. So I'm gonna link that video up here in a card for you to go watch that, because it's very important to me to bring awareness to spina bifida, but we've already done a video explaining all the things that you would need to know. So please go watch that video after you watch this one. But the reason that today is such an important day is because, why?
Today marks 1 year since Lexi and Azariah had the surgery.
So if you watch the video of explaining what spina bifida is and everything related to that, we talk about the fetal surgery. And if you've watched our story like at all, then you know that Azariah and I had fetal surgery at 24 weeks gestation, which is a year ago today. So we kind of just wanted to, I got this idea, literally I was like falling asleep last night and I got this idea because I want to rewatch our surgery video. So we got the idea to watch the surgery video like live with you, like real time, and kind of reminisce and talk about some things, maybe some things that we were feeling that we didn't talk about before, and just kind of like get to relive that moment with you guys and just see how God's been so faithful.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're in our Airbnb. It is the day before our surgery, my surgery.
Where's my facial hair?
And we met with our
I thought about that you, in all of these videos back then, you didn't have like any facial hair. When did you start having facial hair?
I don't remember, but I thought it was then.
I think you started while you were in Cincinnati. It just wasn't.
I just forgot a razor, probably.
Probably. I bet I've always wanted you to have facial hair.
Some of them are kind of, like super stern and no emotion, but like the doctor we met today was really awesome. We're very grateful for him.
What do you remember most about that? Because we had to go the day before the surgery to talk to all the surgeons.
Like that's when
they were going over.
probably
like,
was there.
Right, they were going over the risks and like preparing me
One
for worst case scenario, and we were signing papers about like what would happen if.
Oh yeah, we had to sign papers saying, okay, if something goes wrong with the surgery, do we have your consent to deliver the baby then and there through emergency C-section?
Or like what would happen if something were to go wrong with me, or what would go wrong with Azariah, and to like be put in that situation where like the doctors are asking us, you know, if there would be a problem with me, what would you want Azariah delivered, right? Like those questions, like just being asked those questions is really, really tough. So, but I remember this, like getting to the Airbnb and being like, feeling super confident in our surgical team, obviously, because I was actually the 37th person to have fetoscopic surgery at Cincinnati Children's. So it's not like there were a ton of surgeries before me, but I felt so confident in the surgical team because they even though it was hard to hear all the possible complications, I mean, it was terrible to hear all those things.
And before you finish, fetoscopic is laparoscopic. They just call it fetoscopic.
Right.
Yeah.
But that just means that there's like 3 holes that go into the uterus instead of opening the uterus fully. But I just remember being really confident in them, and I actually didn't even get to meet the doctor who was gonna repair Azariah's spine. I didn't get to meet him until the surgery was over. But I remember meeting...
So Stevenson did the repair on the spine.
Right, and I didn't get to meet him.
Oh, until, yeah. But oh, okay, you met the other guy, right, first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met him way before. We met him the very first time we went to Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
What was his name?
I don't remember, but
he was so nice.
He was so funny, too.
And very, very quiet.
Yeah.
And apparently magnesium makes you feel like booty. So potentially I can't eat for 3 days. So we're going to Wahlburgers, right?
I was like, what looks different about this? But it's the old Kim now.
Yeah. I will just say, I was talking about magnesium here, and magnesium do you remember how, I mean, I was like in pain and sick and all the things from surgery in general, but I remember being on magnesium and it being horrible.
They said that was like one of, besides like the pain, obviously, was one of the worst parts was having to be on the magnesium.
Right, because it was like magnesium makes you feel like you're still under anesthesia while still like knowing what everything is going on. It just makes you feel so weird and messes with your gut and all the things, and like having all those things happen while you're just being out of surgery is like, I'm grateful for it on the other side of it because it did help me feel not as much pain as I think I could have.
It also helped you not to have contractions.
It did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's actually the main goal of it.
Oh.
That's the main reason why they give it to you.
I don't remember a lot of those details.
Mm-hmm.
Because after my surgery, there was three days, two and a half days that I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember what room I was in. I don't remember what was said to me. There's videos of me, but I don't remember any of it.
Ultrasound one more time to get his measurements and to see like where he is. And then I have to get an epidural. I'm not excited about that part. Not excited about any of it, but especially that part because epidurals scare me. And then they'll take me
Also, really quickly,
to the operating room.
I think I talked about this in this video, but my epidural failed after surgery, and the point of the epidural is to like obviously numb your stomach after you have the surgery because your baby can like still move around after the surgery, and my epidural did not work. So after I woke up from surgery, I felt everything.
Yeah, and I think the main reason why it didn't work is because they didn't
Right.
lay you in the position correctly to allow that medicine to
Right.
get to the parts of your body that's supposed
I'm not
to.
really sure what the miscommunication was, but it took like 4 different anesthesiologists, or it took like 4 anesthesiologists, and the fourth or fifth one finally came in. They were like, they've been giving this to you wrong this
he's
whole
like,
time.
you're on a high enough dosage. You should not be feeling anything.
Right.
And he's like, let's do this. And he's like,
Yeah. They laid me down, gave it to me, and had me laying down flat for 10 minutes, and then sat me up. And no other person had done that. And it was like day four
Yeah.
that I finally didn't have all of that pain from the surgery. But I also saw the epidural needle right before I went under, and that's fun.
To actually watch a fetoscopic surgery happen, one that the doctor that's actually doing my surgery tomorrow, he just did 2 days ago. And it was really
I wonder
neat
if
to watch, and just like the
because he was putting that together for like a research team, and was eventually going to release that to YouTube.
So we, when we went in to talk to all the doctors, they showed us a video of an actual fetoscopic surgery happening. And at the time, I didn't want to watch it because surgery is literally my biggest fear in life. Like, just hands down, being under and like having people mess with my body and like cut me open and all those things was terrifying. So I didn't want to watch the surgery on a video, but I think I watched a few parts of it because I did want to. I mean, it's a miracle. It's amazing technology. The fact that they can do that, and the fact that that was going to be happening to me, and getting to see them repair a baby's spine in utero, it was really cool that I could see it, but also scary.
The video that they showed wasn't like of any part of the mom. It was just the
inside.
Yeah, so the laparoscopic tools that they use to repair also have cameras on them. Mm-hmm. And that's what we saw in the video.
Right.
Thank you for everyone who's praying and who has prayed. We know that God has got this, and He's going to use these surgeons' hands, and He's going to be their eyes and guide everything, and it's going to be A-okay.
You on probably 0 hours of sleep.
Literally 0 hours of sleep. So this morning, it was 4:15 that I was doing this. And I was basically just reading over some prayers that I had written over the surgery and over Azariah and us. And I still have all of those, and I read them from time to time because they're so powerful and they just remind me of God's faithfulness in this. But I was praying the night before in the morning of that I would just be like overwhelmed with peace because I was just so nervous, not because I didn't think that it was gonna go okay, but just because I was having a surgery on myself and my unborn baby. So it was a lot, and there was a lot of emotions and a lot of nerves. And I feel like God told me to read that story. And when I read that story, I felt an overwhelming amount of peace. I still had like human emotions, but I just felt like God's peace was being bigger than my fear. I don't know if you felt that way too, but I think we both talked about that, how we just felt so, despite it being a huge surgery and feeling human emotions, we just trusted God so much that he was going to give us peace. And also having people praying for us all the time.
I didn't sleep at all.
True.
So, I know I don't sound very like excited, but I mean, are you excited for surgery ever? I'm asking you.
Well, me? I don't think so.
I remember,
Go over.
like, I knew that you really didn't want to, like, do anything with the camera. I was like, I know that she will want, you know, this specific moment recorded. So I was just like, well, this is where I have to pick up the camera and I have to turn it on for you.
And I'm so grateful that you did that, because I knew when you picked up the camera, you weren't doing it because you were, like, excited about it. You were doing it because you were like, this is part of our story.
Yeah.
This is gonna matter. And I felt that from you when you picked up the camera and when you recorded. So this room, I thought I was gonna be delivering in this room. They had these brand new labor and delivery like suites, and it was the most incredible hospital room that I had seen. And I thought I was gonna be able to deliver here. I didn't end up being able to, but.
So, Cincinnati Children's, correct me if I'm wrong, they haven't done too many deliveries up until that point. Like those,
now, but yeah.
Yeah, now, but like at that point, there were very few delivery rooms, just because like it's not a hospital where you just go to deliver. And all the babies that they do deliver are more high risk. You don't just, you know, if you've had a normal pregnancy, you don't just go there to have to deliver your baby. But since then, they've built quite a few more, and yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah, I wish that I could have, because I would have been able to go, like, I would have been able to be at the hospital where Azariah was in the NICU.
Yeah.
But I mean, it worked out fine. This room was really, really awesome. So this is very emotional. This part, this was when they had done an ultrasound on me. I had put all my like surgery stuff on, and I was just like laying here waiting to be rolled back to start getting the drugs that they give you to like help you be loopy. And I was just like listening to worship music here, and it says on the screen, I was both terrified and having a deep sense of peace in this moment that God's got this. And I just remember like sitting here and worshiping him, and I don't know where you were. You might have been in the room, or you were in the bathroom, I think. But I just remember feeling like God was like, I have you, I have your baby. Like it's okay to feel fear about what you're going into, but don't let that overcome your faith. Like, believe in me, trust me, that I will see you through this and that it'll be okay. And I'm just really grateful that I got to have this time of just being pretty much by myself and worshiping, and just getting some more time to like trust God while I was waiting to go be rolled back. And what it doesn't say in here is that Azariah was like kicking like crazy while I was listening to this worship music. And I just felt like God gave me that as a reminder that like he's fighting just as hard as I am, and that like he was showing me that he was gonna be okay too. So that was just, I'm really glad that you recorded this part. So I don't know what's happening here, but they apparently had so much fun while I was in surgery, which I'm grateful for because it like
helped all of us by the time.
Yeah, it took their mind off of it. So this next part and everything is like both hard to watch and really, really cool because it's like all the videos of me coming out of anesthesia. And oh gosh. No.
Hey, what is it you want right now?
I want donuts. I want a donut and my
Donut.
Our cat's name is Donut.
What kind of laugh was that? Craig's laugh makes everything better. 3, 2, 1.
You do.
spoken. I like it.
This is crazy. I don't remember any of this.
They kept saying like, why is she talking about donuts?
Look how, oh my gosh, it looks so.
Do you have something to say to Ileana?
Aw, I don't remember that.
Jason.
Who do you love, Sissy? Sing it, girl.
Good voice. Okay, so while all of this was happening, this is something that we didn't explain here and we've never talked about, but I don't wake up from from anesthesia well at all. I've only ever had one other surgery and it was for wisdom teeth, but it took me like 3 extra hours to wake up. And when I woke up from this surgery, because it was so much longer and so much more intense than wisdom teeth, why couldn't I breathe?
Oh, well, so I think this case was a little more serious because you had to be so far under because of the type of surgery, and they gave you a little extra so it would get into Azariah, and they also gave Azariah his own anesthetic, but she just couldn't wake up from it very well, and she was still like trying to go back to sleep, and her oxygen levels were so low, like they were dropping into the 70s, I think at one point like high 70s, and then like maybe around the 80s. So like her and her mom sat by her bedside for quite a while.
Her and her mom? You and my mom?
Me and her mom, yeah, sat by her side for quite a long time, and would just be like, Lexi, you gotta breathe. Lexi, you gotta breathe.
Yeah.
And we just kept saying that
'Cause every time
to wake you up.
Right, because every time I would fall asleep, my oxygen would drop, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I do remember this specific thing, and it was in those like 3 days that I really don't remember anything, but I remember this. Or maybe it was even after I like fully regained consciousness, but they had that, I think there's a clip in here actually, where they had that breathe thing.
Yeah.
And I was still in so much pain because my epidural didn't work, and because I had just had surgery and my core was cut into, I couldn't breathe well. I couldn't breathe deeply because it hurt so bad. I had to use this breathing thing, and it was so incredibly hard for me to do because you had to like breathe into it and try to get the little notch thing up so far, and they made me do it all the time because my oxygen was going so low every time I fell asleep. And I remember I was trying to fall asleep, and I remember hearing the little oxygen thing go off, like, I need to breathe. Yeah. That was really, really frustrating, especially because I was in so much pain. Yeah, they finally gave me ice chips. How many days was it? It was day 3. Day 2 or 3, and I hadn't had this breathing thing right here.
I think
right here. Gosh, it was so hard.
And you had to do it slow, like you couldn't just.
Yeah, my core is in so much pain. Gosh, I remember that pain like so vividly.
So the surgery went really well, no complications. And then when they brought us into like the debriefing room, the neurosurgeon, had actually said when he went in to close it up, to close the spine up, that the nerves there were actually in good shape. Like they weren't too damaged or anything like that. They said it looked really pretty healthy. So which is huge because those were exposed the entire time. So it's very encouraging to hear that the nerves weren't damaged. Definitely a God thing, you know, God watching over the baby. And
I feel like that was such a huge reason why Azariah has so much movement and can move his toes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the doctor didn't really expect him to have such intact nerves and have that part of him look so good, because his his defect is so large.
Yeah, somebody's watching that hasn't followed the story closely. We're back in an Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
Where we stayed for a week right after the surgery, and then we moved into a family friend's house.
Yeah, which was so cool. It was your grandparents'
Yeah,
friends.
I guess the way I said it made it seem just like, oh yeah, we have family friends there, but like.
Did you say that in this part?
I don't know if I did, but.
Oh, you're talking about just now?
Yeah. So my grandparents used to live. We all grew up here in Indiana. Then they snowbirded to Florida for a while. Then they moved permanently to Florida. And somebody they went to church with has a house, and that they snowbird to as well, where their daughter lives, and they just happened to be close enough to the hospital to where we could just stay there. And my grandma one day sent out in her prayer chain through their church, like, hey, we need prayers for this and that. And this woman reached back out to her, asking what it was, and she was like, oh my word, like, these people are the nicest people ever. They were just like,
literally,
we won't be there, just have our house, it's yours. And
like, you can just live at our house while we're in Florida for
several months.
Yeah. Well, we were only there for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But they offered it to us for several months. So the rest of the video is just us explaining pretty much what we've already explained. And if you want to watch that video, I will leave it in the link below, because it's really cool to watch it all the way through. And all the other following videos, sorry, just stabbed you with my fingernail. But I'm really grateful to have documented all of this journey, not just for us to be able to look back on, especially like a year later, but for us to show Azariah when he is old enough to understand and see all of those things that God did for him, and all of the prayers that people had, or, you know, prayed for him and for us. And it's really also cool that we were able to document it for other people who have since then gone through the surgery, or who are about to go through the surgery. Like, I have people all the time who say, my baby is diagnosed at 20 weeks, and I looked on YouTube, and your channel was the only channel that has documented this before, and it really helped me and gave me courage and strength to know that I can do it too. And that means more than I can ever express, that we were able to encourage other people in their journey.
Yeah, and I think also too, like, for the people that are going through it, and I mentioned this to somebody a friend of somebody that I work with, they knew somebody that was going through the same thing, and they referred them to our channel. And I said, yeah, if not anything else, to show people that, like, you can have hope and still have fun through that process. You know, the whole time we did things and we had fun. And
right. Yep. Like, it is a very emotionally taxing thing, and it's the hardest thing that we've ever been through in our lives, but it's not something that we would have, like, chosen to go through, like, just to go through, but it's something that we wouldn't have we wouldn't change it now, because it grew our faith so much and grew us so much. And now we have Azariah, and he's 9 months old and is a literal miracle. Every single time somebody sees him, we get to share, like today, we got to share a story today, and people are baffled that, first of all, surgery in the womb can happen, and second of all, that he is as strong as he is. And all babies, no matter what they are born with or without, are strong and are deserving of life and deserving of chance. And I just think that Like if we would have seen this type of video, if we would have seen this type of journey before we went through it, or when we found out, like if we would have been able to watch somebody else's, maybe it would have been even, I don't know, but I'm just thinking of someone who has just been recently diagnosed, or their baby's just been recently diagnosed, and they have heard the words, you know, over and over again, like we were, where do you want to terminate? Do you want to abort? Do you want to...
Your baby might not do this.
Your baby might be a vegetable. Your baby might not what, all these things, and hearing that option over and over again, and maybe feeling like that's their only option. And I just hope that our story gave you the confirmation that God has the final say, and that they are deserving of life, and they are valuable, and they are worth going through this journey. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching our journey even to this point, and for your continued prayers for us and for him. And today's a very, very cool day, but very emotional. So yeah, that's it. We're gonna go get our baby because he is screaming right now. Woke up from his nap early. So remember to love God, love yourself, and love people, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.